back working on Angus. You know, after we tried putting on those rims there, they didn't fit. So I was kind of frustrated. Bought this guy, $10 Amazon tool. And what it does is it checks lug nuts, spaces, and everything else, and kind of go from there. So these rims are well, I guess here, that's how you measure them. Just put it in the hole like that, and when it's lined up, you know, something like that, you get a reading off of it, and then you get your reading. So, of course, I was a little off, but it's 5 lug, 120 millimeter. That's what those spacers or the wheel sizes on that are. The Impala and Angus, of course, are 5-on-5. So if you were to go here and measure 5-on-5 pattern, it would come out to be somewhere right like that. And you can see the 5-on-5 right down here, 5-5. So pretty simple tool. So with that information, I just went on the Amazonian website, and I got these. It's just a box. No, wheel spacers. So these should match up our 5-on-5 to our 5-on-120. We're gonna throw one on here right now. Okay. Wheel adapter instructions. Basically, never used these before, but from what I gather, relatively simple. Yeah, got some really nice packaging. And what I'm gathering is you unbolt the wheel, then you bolt it on here, and then you bolt this part. You know, the wheel goes on here. So, just for poops and giggles, let's measure our boop boop and our boop boop to boop boop and, you know, boop boop. What did I do? Oh. These things are real nice quality. Alright. So, measure. That's not good. I think I got them backwards. I think I went from the car side. So this would be the BMW side, or the 5-on-120. Well, I don't know. Pull these off and we'll see if they fit on that wheel. If not, get the right ones that do. Okay, they do. Well, I guess jack the truck up now and see if it'll fit on the truck. What is this thing? Is that cricket? Where are you, dude? Gal? I don't know. Ooh, you got pinchers on you. Ugh. I don't know. Get out of here. Got some weird antennae things on it. Anyways. Sounds good. Yeah. All right. I think you're supposed to coat that with something. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's right on there, like a glove. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go grab the wire wheel and wire wheel that up really quick, and then put some anti-seize so this doesn't stick on there. Now we will be back in here very soon to do brakes and a whole bunch of other stuff, but right now is not that time. I hit this with some rust inhibitor, prohibitor, I don't know, rebuild it. Sure. Get the dust cap too. Can't even tell. Freaking rebuild. Should rebuild everything else while I'm in here, but that's another project for not today. Also, I probably should wait for this to dry, but whatever. Okay, whatever. So now that those are all tugged, snugged, whatever, let's put these on. Look at that. What the heck? I don't know why the light's flashing now. Unreal. So now we're resorting back to manual lever. Fun. So there, that's what we got and we come up with versus that, you know, that. Probably gonna use those on trailer tires because I don't know what else to use them for at this moment. Otherwise I can go back on Angus at some point, rolling them in and out, winter tires. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm fascinated by the 15 dragonflies right now.
Yeah, we got a lot of dragonflies bombing around. What are you doing? Tons of them. Coming in hot. Nope. All right. Backside is on. Front side's on. Let the paint dry on that driver's side front. But definitely a huge improvement. Now we just got to get rid of that gap there. And how are we going to do that? Drop it. Someday, not today. Fortunately, blew out power steering hose right there the other day. And I ain't got it in me to fix it. Got a nice trail, you can see right there. It went as I was backing up and then I pulled it in. But getting late, getting dark, wheels are on. Happy with that. I'm gonna wrap the video for tonight here. Pick back up tomorrow. Well, quick little test rip here in Angus. Fixed the power steering pump leak. Hoses blew off. Take it out on the road and see if this thing actually shifts again like it's supposed to. Got good oil pressure. Water temp hasn't climbed, but speedo's working. shift thing, or the RPM gauge, I haven't figured that out. I gotta dink around with it, but alright, here we go. It's a little low on fluid. Yeah, it's not shifting. So we gotta do the shift solenoid. So definitely gonna get the scanner out here when we get back. See if our codes are still in there. Like last time we had 22 or something. I don't know. Well, we now have seemed to have a miss. Running a little rough. Remember, we did replace that one injector. Maybe that's what's wrong with it. But I want this thing too to get up to temp here so I can get that cooling fan kicked on, make sure it stays cool. That line that blew off, it was just right there. Just threw a double clamp on it. Alright, brakes. Of course they're nasty. Rears, super hot. That's good. That's good. This one, not as hot. Now it's clearing off, but a little warm. So we definitely got sticky brake up front. Backside as well. Well, I just walked in to grab a beverage and must have been a little warm because I came out and the fan was on. And it's already shut off. We're already back down to 180. I just want to see how much air flows on this thing. I remember riding this a lot. If you're wondering, tonight's beverage of choice, Right Brain CEO Stout, coffee espresso oatmeal, dark beer. You gotta like the stouts. I do. Local company, well, Traverse City. Check them out if you're ever up there. Right Brain Brewing Company. It's pretty good. I flippy doodadded the headlights on and we got a stuck blinker. Let's see what that's all about. That one's working. That's working. It's not any brighter or not. Parking light lens is working. Side marker's not working again. Dang it. Well, are we going to have to go through this whole thing again? Because now we don't have any front parking lights. And we put those new ones in. Huh. Here's our cooling fan. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Looks like it was 190 when it kicks on. Let's drop it down to 180. Bulbs were loose. Those sockets kind of suck. We're probably going to get new ones because, yeah, they're just stupid loose, and I don't know, vibration, and the bulb popped out. Junk. Absolute junk. Good thing I got some OEM ones up in the rafters that I found haphazardly the other day. So we'll just put those on. Right now we'll just ignore it. I mean, I got them working, but they're going to fail again. Stupid, yeah. I mean, look at this. Look at that. The bulb just wiggles in there, and that's what it's just like. It's loose. Loose. Dumb. So now I'm going to get the scan tool out. after it's been running for a bit. And we shall see what codes we get. And we'll go research them on the interwebs. Oh, hey. Well, you guys are on the dash. Plug in my USB port. Powering on. Ready to pair. Matter of fact, they have ignition on it. I don't remember. I think so. Let's see what we get. There we go. It's doing things. It's thinking. It's thinking. Okay, linked. 18 stored codes. Can you see that? Can you see that? Okay. Well, I'm over here. Got the sensors and or the codes all pulled up. Started going through. If you remember, there was 18. Started going through them. I'm like, oh, 154, and write kind of what they are, a little riff-raff. And I noticed they started repeating again. 154, 154. So I kind of just stopped reading them here. But thankfully, we have the newest, latest, and greatest GM intermodal web search thing for these codes. So now, if you remember, Angus identifies as a 2002 Chevrolet Silverado. So Chevrolet Silver, if I spell it right, Silverado check engine light code. Let's see, what was it? First one, P-0758. Enter. So there's what it means. Shift solenoid B allows transmission shift between second and third gear. The PCM records that code. It indicates the PCM cannot see the proper change in the engine RPMs or the correct increase in road speed that should be happening during the shift from second to third gear. So that could be a good thing because we don't have our speedometer. What is going on? We don't have our speedometer hooked up to it, which we have the little VATs that we hooked up for our cruise control. So maybe we just got to wire that in. Maybe. I don't know. Check. Our vehicle speed sensor thing. And if you think I didn't put thing on there, I did. Okay. So that's that one. So now, before you delete all of it, since we're working on the same vehicle, you can put in the second one. Oh, mosquito. Stupid mosquitoes. Tell you, they're getting me. So anyways, P-0154. Enter. Detects a trouble code, DTC, for the O2 sensor circuit number activity bank 2 sensor 1. This can happen for multiple reasons. The mechanic needs to diagnose the specific cause for this code to be triggered. Next day, figured out our codes on the transmission there for Angus. And pretty much everything that I was watching, figuring out, reading up on, pretty much said that all the solenoids and the harness need to be changed out. So we're gonna do that right now. First, gotta get bird out. There's also a sliding window right here. We're gonna put that in Angus too, because why not? So I'm gonna get some stuff cleaned off, use my mobile storage container for the moment, get Angus pulled in, go from there. first thing second, if I remember correctly, this thing's got a drain plug for the transmission. So we're going to drain the transmission fluid out. And then we're going to knock the pan off, get all this transmission stuff taken care of. But while it's draining, hopefully hook back up the e-brake. Also, the wire for the fuel sending for the gauge. You gotta fix that. Did we put a new fuel gauge in? Yeah, we did. Okay. Hopefully it works. We'll see. Back to it. Whoa. That was loose. Like, not even finger tight. That ain't good. Probably a good thing we're doing this. We got some metal shavings on the magnet, but fluid doesn't look that bad. All right. Well, let's see if I can remember how this whole brake thing works. First, I think definitely not hit tie down. So you can cut that zip tie. Next, right like that. So it goes over here. Probably with this, maybe. This one. How is it over? Oh, that's the polar thing. I think most of our fluid's now dripped out. Remember, 14. Nope, it is 13. Okay. We'll get the impact so I can impact these off. I'm going to put the plug back in to avoid making a gigantic freaking mess. Which I already feel like it's going to happen. But sometimes we get lucky. I don't know. Are you guys counting? It should be drop down on us. So if you don't have a drain plug, keep the back two somewhat in there. Get our front ones down. Kind of work it around. But since we do, oh, I missed that one. Son of a gun. We're probably still gonna have fluid in here too, just FYI. But anyways, you leave two back here, you can drop the front end down and spit. Spill the beans. Spit. Spill. Ah! Just like that. Yeah. You make a mess. So I'm going to do some cleanup now. So up on the workbench, there's the fluid that came out of it. Still very nice. Not much material in there. So clean this up. We'll drop under, pull the filter off. do all that fun stuff. Hey, it's me again. Yeah. I think I figured out what our problem is. So, we were thinking it wasn't going to shift because you got the pressure switch solenoids. There. And it comes to this wire harness here. Well, if you look up there, you gotta plug it into something. If you don't plug it in, the computer can't read it. So, what I think I did is I think I never pinned those in. I think I actually depinned them out of the harness when I was depinning it, not knowing any better because I thought it was for four-wheel drive. Why? I don't know. So, that connector looks like this. That is another harness up there. So what I'm gonna do, begrudgingly, is kind of dig through my harness currently that I have in here, and if I can't find it, well, we're just gonna use that one and we're gonna repin it into the computer. It's probably the easiest thing at this point because I'm pretty sure I depinned it out, but I can't find the old harness and my wires of junk. Maybe it got tossed because I was thinking, like I said, it was four-wheel drive stuff. Got that left. I don't know. It's all, I could have swore that was in there. I don't know, but looking at that one, the O2 sensors are back that way. I just can't find it. So I'm gonna do a little bit more digging, a little bit more tracing. See if I hit it somewhere, see if it's top of the transmission pan or tunnel. And if not, then I guess we're just gonna be doing some rewiring. Great. Nope. Got her down. Guess I'm gonna start depinning. Now hopefully, this one's I think a blue, yeah, blue. Blue-red connector. I think I got a blue-green connector on mine. I don't know. But I'm assuming that the pigtail harness is going to be the same. We'll see. I'm going to start depinning. So, new day. Welcome. Where are we at? Doing stuff again. Angus. So, where we left off, we discovered that the pigtail for the transmission actually wasn't plugged in. Wasn't fished through the body in the harness. Tried looking for it. And I kind of gave up after that point, recording that is. I did go through and, you know, fish through what I possibly could. Underneath we got the harness all dropped down where it is. No go. So I must have just depinned it. So that's going to bring us to today's video of getting that taken care of. Before I do get into that, I did go ahead and put the transmission fan back on, gasket, filter, you know, all that good stuff, because that's not our problem. The problem was it just wasn't plugged in. Anyways, so as you can see, I got the harness all laid out here. Luckily, I have this spare harness up there in my parts compartment. And the pigtail we're going after is this one. Now this harness does have a lot of good parts on it, pieces, you know, it's got a starter, it's got the positive, you know, all the other little plugins that we're going to need, fuel injectors and everything else. it was a little blown apart down here. So that's injectors. Yeah, those are injectors as well for the other side of the engine. And I don't know what this side's for. Maybe air conditioning. And then that's probably mass airflow sensor. And I think it's okay, but it kind of looks like some wires are... Something got ripped up, yanked up, taut, pulled through. Nasty. So what we're going to do is we're just going to focus on the one connector that we need. We're going to go through, just cut all the stuff off of here, the sheathing, save what we can, cut the tape, put it to the side, get through there all the way up to the computer. We'll label it where we got to depin it out of that connector, mark it, and then we'll come over here to the one that's in the truck and we will plug it into the same pins, run the wires all the way down there, plug them in, hopefully it works. Problem that I'm running into is the computer that I have in Angus, I think is the 9902 blue-red connector. I think that's what it is. And this one is a blue-green. This is like an 05, because the motor we replaced is an 05. Anyways, I'm pretty sure it's the same. The only real difference is this one's really drive-by-wire. And all the research I did, everything else is pretty much the same. I don't know. If it's not, we'll just have to figure it out from something else, I guess. I don't know. Also, last night when I was on doing some searches on the LT1swap.com, I looked at the pin that we need to wire up the fuel pump, and I think we are going to wire up the fuel pump to have the computer control it instead of just constantly key on. It's consistently running. I don't really like that. So we're going to do some digitals. So if you remember from my depinning an LS connector video, I don't know, somewhere in the playlist in Angus, simple tools we had to depin this. Some kind of a razor blade, side cutter. We want some zip ties. And when we get to the depinning part, we're going to need some kind of a pick to pop the pins off. All I'm going to do is, I'm going to start by the connector we need. We're going to go through and just fish it out from this mess of stuff that we don't need. As I mentioned, this harness, I do plan on using it, I think, for another project, but that's going to have a 700R4 in it, so we're not going to need the transmission stuff. So we'll just want to save the most that we can. But okay, I'm going to go through and start doing this, and wish me luck. Okay, I left the stuff I didn't need in there. That's what we're after. All those wires we're going to have to find the pins for, pin it in. Anyways, going through, we'll just carefully kind of take it apart, get to a junction here, slice it, and start putting some zip ties on to the bundle that I'm going to need to keep together, because like right here, whatever this sensor is down there is intertwined in there. So we'll carefully snip this, get it out, fish it all the way through. Then we'll find where each and every one of those wires for that, which by the looks of the colors, it's probably in this bundle here. I don't know. We'll find out which ones they are, what pins they go into, and I'll write it down corresponding which pin on the connector plugged into the other one. Anyways, watching Pole Barn Garage, so go check that channel out. Watching the Chevy swapped Jag while I'm depinning stuff. About an hour and a half later, into the whole starting process, of course, we got out our harness. And it looks like got it labeled, got it marked here. Unfortunately, as so it goes, I gotta go to work, so yeah, great night shift. Back tomorrow. Well, next day. Of course, we got that all done. So just for the hell of it, I decided to pull the computer off because I was gonna have to anyway. Started looking, comparing my cheat sheet that I have here with all the pins that came out of that computer, and out of all of them, green kind of being red and blue being blue, I have them all. I could have swore that I had them all, so they're in there. So what do I do? Well, went back underneath again and again and again and again, and got in there, fine-tooth comb. Got that one hanging down. Started pulling all this stuff down, and I'm like, where? Look what I pulled out. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get my zip ties and wire cutters and all that stuff. Gonna put this together the right way for the third time. So happy. Well, she's buttoned back up, plugged back in, everything's plumbed back up to where it needs to be, zip tied up, of course. Got the PCM put back together. I did get my extra pin 9 in there. I'm gonna wire that up to the fuel pump here eventually. Got the fuel gauge wire from the sending unit there. Even gave Angus an oil change, so everything's put back together. Fluids are topped off. First fire up, let's see what it does. So good, 38 pounds of pressure. Let's check it out. Alright, let's see. Definitely running a little bit better than what it was. Shifting a little bit more. I don't know though, we're gonna have to pull the scan tool out and see if we got any codes coming up. I'll loop around right here. Well, we're back to the house and everything seems fine. So I did go through and reset everything. Fortunately, I'm out of time for today. I gotta get to work, so we'll get on a test drive tomorrow and see what happens. Angus is officially registered and driving. We got a little bit of a couple bugs to work out, but cruising. after being off the road for at least 10 years, from what I gathered by talking to the previous owner, the information that I found, Angus is officially back on the road. Now, we still have plenty of work we need to do to this truck. I got to put a passenger side mirror on. Got to finish the dash. We got some gremlins we got to chase with the electrical, with the fuel sending unit, fuel gauge, all that stuff, and the tack. You know, it's making that beeping noise. Let's maybe delete that. But it's officially on the road. So, with that, get out, work on your projects. Because if I can do this, you can do this. Yeah, it took me a year and a half working on it on my spare time, but Angus is back. Didn't help that we had to put 2 motors in it, but at least we know how to do it now. So that's going to do it for this one. Stay tuned because, like I mentioned, there's tons coming on this truck. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, comment below. Tell me what else you want to see done to this truck. See you on the next one.